For ages, there's been a ruthless war going on, both sides duking it out, since the mid-2000s, yeah. And that war is physical versus digital games. Now, digitally downloaded games have been around for a lot longer than 15 or so years, but they really started becoming big in the 360, Wii, and PlayStation 3 era. Now, both physical and digital games both have their pros and cons, but I prefer physical games, and I'll talk about why in a second. But first, let's talk about digital games. There are a lot of pros that come when going digital. The main one is convenience. You just press A and bada bing bada boom, you're in. With physical games, on the other hand, you have to take out the disc, put it in its case, open the game you want to play, and then put that in, and then you insert it, and then finally you're in. The thing is though, that only takes like a minute or so, but you could also argue that the time adds up, which you're right though. But for me, I don't mind it taking like the extra minute just to play my game. Kinda depends on how you feel. Not only does it save time, it also saves space. Instead of having a bookshelf full of hundreds of dollars of games, you can just have it on your one console. It's also way easier to bring games with you than with physical games. But there is one glaring issue with digital games: storage. When you buy a physical game, at most you have to copy data from one disk to the hard drive or SSD. But when you're going digital, you have to get the entire game on your hard drive or SSD. With the new consoles, the Series X and the PlayStation 5, their storage isn't very big for next-gen consoles, and buying a new SSD currently is very expensive. You also have to download the games, which can take a while because of how big games are becoming. With physical games, you just go to the store, say, I want one bad, unoriginal, lazy game please, and be on your way. And speaking of physical games, I'd say it's about time we start talking about them. First off, the physical games, as you don't have to clog up as much storage as digital games. But while you might not be filling up your storage as much, your shelves are going to be way fuller. Now, with digital games, they can fit on a little hard drive or SSD, while physical games need their own case to store them. Sometimes. But with digital games, you'd be saving an unbelievable amount of space. Now, lots of people like having the case for their games, and so do I. While, yes, it does take up more space than like a bus sometimes, I don't know. It makes each game purchase you feel more substantial. Feel a greater connection to it, because you can feel and look at the $60 you just waste. While I feel like both digital and physical games have their pros and cons, I prefer physical to digital. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, please subscribe, and yeah.